Hi guys, I know we're live, but for some reason I am not able to pull up the live stream on YouTube. Like, I don't know what the deal is. But I know we're live because I can watch the simulcast of it here. But for some reason I am not. Yeah, and we've got people in the chat, so I have no idea why I can't even pull up my own live stream. But I wasn't kidding this morning, guys, when I said I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last on YouTube. I mean, they're just making this damn near impossible for us people to do anything out here. I mean, it's just system, and system failure after system failure, and there's something wrong with YouTube again today with live streaming injusts. And man, guys, it's making it real hard for us out here. I want to push the live stream button and go. I don't want to sit here and fiddle piss around with something. So, Jesus. But I'm in Indiana anyway, as you probably can tell up there. You see the temperature's starting to drop a little bit. I don't know, surprisingly, nobody has said anything about the temperature plot on screen there. Zach's got it set up as well. Nobody's noticed the temperature plot. Well, maybe they did, but I figured people would be just, oh, what's that? So there's going to be a dew point and a pressure plot as well once full sensors are programmed in. So give it 5 minutes for somebody else copies it. But hey, we did it first, and it looks nice. It looks really nice, I think. Need to figure out a way, because I want to put the dew point and the pressure plot up there as well, but need to be able to do it in a way that it doesn't block the video, and we're kind of running out of room, I mean, I already had to kick the radar off the screen because we don't have any room for it. So, I mean, I'm running out of things to kick off the screen. I'm just gonna reboot my iPad. Something's wrong here. Shut up. But I am headed. I'm headed up toward South Bend or LaPorte. I think it's LaPorte. I think I'm actually going to LaPorte. Yeah, because South Bend hotels were $500 tonight. So, no, thank you. But we'll go to LaPorte. We got a big winter storm coming tomorrow. Listen, this is where I get to have my I told you so moment. I have had such nasty, horrible, trash people that came out of the woodwork and just tried to cancel. It's because that Northern Illinois severe storms page that some Bob and some like Christopher or whatever run told their audience basically to come cancel us, whatever. But I've had so many disgusting comments saying that, we've been hyping this up and we're faking it for views. And guess what? You know what the National Weather Service said? Boom, 9 to 14 inches of snow, or 9 to 18 inches of snow. 9 to 18 inches of snow are possible from this lake effect event. And that's coming from the horse's mouth. And, a lot of people criticize the National Weather Service, as do I. But if there's one thing that the local National Weather Service offices are pretty good at, is snow forecasting. So I get, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I get a little bit of my I told you so moment here. So we do have a big winter storm coming. It's going to be of the lake effect variety, but you guys know how unpredictable those are. I mean, you can drive 15 minutes in one direction and have almost no snow, and then drive 15 minutes back the other direction and you can have a foot of snow. So I don't know what to expect until it actually shows up, but the timing for this event, because I know a lot of people are joining in, they probably just want a quick answer. The timing for this event, we're looking at tomorrow afternoon through Monday morning. The worst conditions are going to be tomorrow evening, Sunday evening. And when I say evening, I guess maybe I should say that a little differently. Tomorrow, like Sunday overnight. So we're probably going to have a live stream fairly late, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with an overnight live stream. We'll see what happens, but I'm like 2.5 hours away, so we're getting there pretty quick. It took me a little bit longer to get up here than I wanted it to. Just the whole ordeal. Some of you guys heard it. So this morning we were having problems getting the live stream going. And I was dealing with some hotel drama, all right? Some of you guys heard it because the live stream fired up as I was on the phone with them, and I didn't know it fired up. But they told me when I checked in last night, because I always ask for a late checkout even if I'm not going to use it, because I'm I'm sick and tired of them banging on the door at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's just ridiculous. Even with the do not disturb sign on the door, they're still pounding on the door. And before anybody calls me a crybaby, listen, I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but sometimes if you don't get to bed until 5 o'clock in the morning and you're living in a hotel 200 nights of the year, and of those 200 nights a year, at least 3/4 of them, yeah, I'm not kidding, at least 3/4 of them, housekeeping is trying, not only knocking, but trying to walk in your room 2 hours before checkout. That's when it does become a problem. We're not talking about here or there, like it's just so common. And then people are like, oh, be nice to the housekeepers, they don't get paid well. It's like, okay, I get that, I get it. But if I'm not going to be able to use my room uninterrupted without some lady trying to walk in on me while I'm taking a shower until the checkout time, then you shouldn't be in business, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's beside the point. But so I always ask for late checkout, but I didn't today because I knew I was going to be getting on the road. And she told me, she goes, checkout is noon, breakfast is from 6:30 to 9:30, you're on the 3rd floor, the elevator's down the hall to the left. Okay, great. So I did all that. And I got up to the room, and I always check the back of the door, because the back of the door, they've always got like the hotel checkout time on it. It's like some state thing, I guess. But anyway, they've always got, so I always double check it to make sure, because the noon checkout is not super common. I mean, it is, but it ain't. So I always double check. Whenever they say noon, I always double check. And on the back of the door, it said noon. Lady this morning, as I'm firing up the live stream, she calls me. This was after housekeeping tried to enter my room at 10:45 while I was taking a shower with the do not disturb sign on. And I had the security latch locked, right? But they still kept sitting there, and they kept like bouncing the door off the security latch. It's like, lady, clearly I'm in here. You can hear the shower running. The TV's on. Like, I'm blaring TikToks at full volume while I'm in the shower. Like, for Pete's sakes, what? Like, come on, like, use your brain. But anyway, 10:45. So I yelled through the bathroom. I'm like, I was like, obviously I'm still here. She's like, okay, sorry. 5 minutes later, I'm trying to brush my teeth. No knock, just beep beep. I hear the key scan, and I'm just, the first thing is, there's no way in hell she just tried to open my door. It's got to be the neighbors. Split second later, bam, the door flies open and it hits against the doorstop again. And thank God I've got clothes on at this point, but I, with toothbrush and like toothpaste in my mouth, like I swing the door open and I stuck my head out and I said, ma'am, for fuck's sakes, like just let me be. I said, I will be out of here at noon. And she's like, okay. It's like, come on. So anyway, whatever. So I'm minding my business, about to start a live stream, and my cell phone rings and I see it says Holiday Inn Express, Oakdale or whatever. I'm like, wonder what this is about. So I answer the phone. She's like, well, our checkout is 11. What are your intentions? And I said, well, that's not on me, because I was told noon, 12 o'clock noon when I checked in, and the back of the door says 12 o'clock noon. And she goes, no, sir, checkout's 11. And I said, well, that's not on me. It is what it is. And like, she kind of got really crappy with me, but I was just like, okay, so you told me noon. The app even said noon, and the back of the door says noon. You're calling telling me you want me out of there at 11. I'm just like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, she was trying to get me, like, to see if I wanted another night, but it's like she was kind of pressuring me to, like, get the hell out. I'm like, lady, you told me noon. The documentation at the hotel says noon. I looked at the sign when I walked out of the hotel. The sign at the front desk says noon. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to be out of, like, come on, man. It's just like, whatever. So that was the hotel drama this morning. Like, it just gets so sickening after a while. Like, I know it's like totally a first world problem to complain about, but like I said, folks, you gotta give me a little bit of a break too for the haters, right? I have to live in a hotel like 60 to 70% of the year. When it becomes a point where 50% of your entire year ends up having to fight the hotel for something, it gets really tiring. And like, these aren't shitty Super 8s. I'm staying at like nicer Holiday Inns, Hampton Inns. You dumb son of a bitch. God bless America. Why would you do that? And I couldn't get over very well. A freaking 18-wheeler over here. Thank God he let me in. God dang, why would you do that? Like, I see you had your blinker on, but you were illegally entering the road. I thought you would wait for the car to go by first. Oh my God. Jeez. God bless America. And before some haters like, you had all day to react to that, there's an 18-wheeler in the left lane in my blind spot. I couldn't just hop over it. Hello. Yeah, look at me like I'm an idiot. Oh, you're flipping me off now. Okay, yeah, sorry for not... Dude. This passenger just like looks me dead in the eye as I'm passing. Of course, I look over there to mean bug him, right? And his passenger's flipping me off. Like, dude, I'm not the one in the wrong here. Jesus criminy. God dang, what Cracker Jack box did you get your license out of? Some people's kids these days. But anyway, yeah, so we're up here heading to the winter storm. It's a winter storm watch right now. I don't know why it's not a winter storm warning yet. There's usually a time. So like winter storm, when it comes to like winter storm watches and warnings, they're a little bit different than convective products. So they, what the hell did I just do? They basically, you know, like they're more time based. So you could get a winter storm watch issued way before, like 3 or 4 hours to an event. You know, you get like a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch a couple of hours before an event. Well, a winter storm watch you get in a day or two. I think, and somebody can correct me because I actually don't know because it's not really that important, but I don't think they'll issue a warning until I think it's within 24 hours. I think. But they will oftentimes issue it in advance and say the winter storm warning will go into effect at this time or whatever. But it's a winter storm watch all the way from Elgin, Illinois, down and around the bottom of the lake, all the way to Benton Harbor, Michigan. But I think the big totals are going to be from Portage, Indiana, to Michigan City, and then down toward Valparaiso and LaPorte. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. So I'll get up early and double check on things, but I really wouldn't. I don't think there's any reason to bother streaming until later tomorrow. There might be some early morning stuff tomorrow that comes through, but it's just going to be like foo-foo, like fluff compared to what comes through later. So maybe a quick hitting stream in the morning, but not super likely. You know, again, that main show is going to be tomorrow night and then the Monday morning commute, so. So right now the system that's going to bring all this snow is back over there kind of in Iowa. But this is all going to be of the lake effect variety, folks. It's going to be a very narrow, I mean, there's going to be a large swath of, you know, anywhere from 2 to 6 inches outside of the lake effect band. But wherever the lake effect band sets up, that's where it could get, could be real. The National Weather Service is actually saying blizzard conditions possible. 2 inches per hour snowfall rates. That's going to be a huge deal, guys. Like, I understand it's early in the year. It's a little bit early for this stuff, but folks, I mean, it's that time of the year where this stuff can start happening. So, you know, it's not hype. You know, a lot of people are saying it's all hype. It's not hype. It is a forecast at this point. And it's not the end of the world. Like, I get this a lot where people are like, oh, you're obviously not from here. We get snow all the time. And it's like, yeah, dude, and you're obviously, you know, and these are the same people that freak out when there's a tornado watch. And I can say, well, you're not from Kansas. You don't, you know, we get tornadoes all the time. You know, it's just, that is such like a non constructive like mindset. Like, yeah, I get it. You know, it snows up here. I'm from Wisconsin. I grew up in the snow belt. You know, I've had, you know, I get it. I drive around. I'm a weather person. I drive around in the snow half of the year. It's my job. So, like, yeah, I get it. There might not be anything special about a lake effect snowstorm in this area, but people still want to see what's happening, and we still want to report on the weather, and it still impacts people. Guys, the Monday morning commute is going to be ass. Like, it's going to suck. Like, it's still going to impact people just because it's not, you know, a category 5 freaking snow hurricane here doesn't mean that people don't care about it. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. And, you know, I bring that up because I've gotten a lot of pushback on talking about this event, but these early season snow events oftentimes are very impactful just because people aren't really ready for them. You know, it's simple things like, you know, people might not have the snowblower ready. They might not have a shovel because, you know, a lot of people, they buy a new shovel every year. You know, the old one gets thrown away, gets lost, run over in the garage or whatever. You know, and then you try to go buy a shovel. You can't buy a shovel anywhere. Just stupid stuff like that. You know, people just like, yeah, I mean, everybody here knows that we might get snow this time of year, but I don't think anybody really like hardcore anticipates it, you know. I mean, I sure as hell wasn't expecting this, so I do need to stop and get a shovel, though. I'll probably stop up there in like Lafayette. Is it going to take me through there? What route? Because I have a feeling yeah, I'll stop up there in Lafayette because I have a feeling all the stores between here and there are going to be sold, or up north of Lafayette are going to get sold out of shovels. Yeah, this will be the first snowstorm of the year, well, of the season that will be live streaming. The last one, I think, was early March, and that wasn't even much. That was pretty pathetic. The last big one was that Kansas City St. Joseph snowstorm, I think. I believe that was in February. I am looking forward to this. I do like snow. But yeah, with 2-inch per hour snowfall rates, there's this argument right now where everybody's like, the ground's not frozen, the ground's not frozen. It doesn't matter. Like, I get it. But it seems like every year everybody takes a theme. And this year it's just everybody on the internet is like, the ground's not frozen. Like, okay, it doesn't matter. When you've got 2-inch per hour snowfall rates, it will literally fall faster than it melts on the grass. And potentially the road. See, I don't think this is necessarily going to be a big one for travel impacts necessarily, because a lot of this is initially going to melt on the road. It is eventually going to pile up, but the fact that it's not going to just immediately start piling up on the road right away gives it just gives a little bit of extra time to get things tended to. So I don't know if I expect like major travel impacts from this, but there's definitely going to be some serious problems on Monday morning for the morning commute, just in terms of like visibility, because when we do talk like anywhere over, really anything over a half an inch an hour for snowfall rates is actually pretty tough to drive in, you know, so you just can't see. So we'll kind of make our final judgment call on what I expect for impacts tomorrow, but until then I'm kind of saying it's a little bit up in the air. But I tell you, anybody that's under one of these intense snow bands, it's probably going to be real, I think. So it should be a good time. is Captain Doorknob that don't know how to drive. Yeah, I think we're looking at a pretty significant event here. The Winter Storm Watch says heavy snow possible. Total accumulations between 6 to 12 inches with locally higher amounts. Strong winds and weight of snow on tree limbs will bring down power lines, spreading power outages, whiteout conditions possible, blah, blah, blah. Sunday afternoon through Monday evening. I will bet you that tonight, right before like bedtime, whatever that, I know that's relative, but tonight before everybody goes to bed, they'll probably upgrade those to winter storm warnings, I would imagine. Just a guess. I just need a shovel. That's all I need is a shovel. Alright, we're just driving all... What the hell are we doing here? Alright, okay. So there actually might be rain to start off the day tomorrow. The cold temperatures have to come in, so it's probably actually going to start off as rain. So, I mean, don't be surprised if, it starts out as a freaking downpour, Very cold rain. I'm driving, so I don't really have the ability to read this, so I'm just going to have Siri read it to me. Why is this thing not working? Oh, now my phone's locked up. What the frick? Freaking turd. There is something, so I had that iOS update the other night. My phone's been screwed ever since. Don't do the latest update. Seriously, like, it's not, like, right now, it's because I got a text message at the same time. Like, if you try to swipe down on a text message, but you're, like, highlighting text, I'm not joking. Like, if you highlight text and then, while the text is highlighted in something else, and then swipe down or up on, like, a text message, it just freezes. Something's wrong with this update. Okay, there we go.
northwest tonight, Sunday. Favorable conditions for lake effect snow will develop tonight. Across the CWA, colder air will pour south over the lake tonight, as a couple of short waves help to carve out the upper trough over the Great Lakes and the core of the upper low dropping south. Sunday, abundant over-lake instability will produce lake effect snow. The question is, where will the main lake band develop? Initially, boundary layer winds are north to NNE. Cams show dominant lake band developing near mid-lake and sinking south. Using H85 Omega as a proxy for lake band placement, several models show the band clipping the points in Mason Oceana counties. A little wiggle in this band will make all the difference. At this point, it looks like the far western portions of the aforementioned counties will see some accumulation snow later. Tonight, with more snow possible Sunday. HREF ensemble. Probabilities point toward 50-60% chance at greater than 6 inches of snow in this area through Sunday night. We issued a winter weather advisory for Mason Oceana counties from this evening through Sunday. If the lake band really gets going, though, I could see this needing a warning. Lake effect snow east of you, S127 Sunday night. Nuances in the boundary layer flow may result in a sneaky lake effect snow event across the eastern CWA, mainly south of Alma. Sunday, as the low moves by to the southeast, a northeast wind flow develops Sunday. When combined with H8 temps near -9C, lake effect snow will develop over Lake Huron and stream southwestward. Initially, surface temperatures will be in the upper 30s, but cool by late in the day. This band also shows up in Model H85 Omega Progs 2, giving some credence this scenario. Wasn't confident enough to issue headline yet, but we keep an eye on it.
Wow, that sounded like a second grader reading that to me. Alright, I need the forecast discussion out of northern Indiana here too. I'm almost done. If I don't have it read these to me now, I'm going to forget later. They screwed up Siri too. Like she I don't know, she just ain't right no more. Something's wrong with Siri. They're holding her hostage. Alright, this is a long one.
Key messages. Rain overspreads the area tonight and changes over to wet snow by early Sunday morning. 1-2 inches is possible on grassy elevated surfaces.
In 2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to take the exit toward I-465 west.
Is possible near Lake Michigan Sunday night. Throughout the day on Monday, 6-12 inches of snow is likely, with locally higher amounts possible in La Porte, St. Joseph Inn, and Berrien counties by Monday evening. Travel impacts are possible for both the Monday morning and evening. Commutes. Near record cold high temperatures possible Monday. Breezy. Northwest winds will make for wind chills only in the teens and 20s. Discussion. Issued at 2:42 p.m. EST Sat November 8, 2025. A very active weather pattern commences tonight through Monday with the first snow of the season expected across much of the forecast area, including a significant lake effect snow setup Sunday evening. Into Monday, a surface low pressure system currently centered over South Dakota will move southeast tonight over the Ohio River Valley. The center of the low is expected to be over central or southern Indiana. By tonight, most high-res models have shifted south to favor southern Indiana. Rain
In half a mile, use the left 2 lanes to take the exit toward I-465 west.
As early as 06-09C from north to south as temperatures hover right around freezing. North of the center of the low, 925 to 850 MB frontogenesis increases overnight along and north of the US 30 corridor as the low deepens. A quick 1-2 inches of synoptic system snow is possible on grassy elevated surfaces, especially in areas where heavy snow rates can overcome the above freezing surface temperatures. Minimal, if any, travel impacts due to road pavement temperatures being above freezing. As the low exits eastward into the Ohio River Valley, breezy north. Winds on the backside of the low will allow for lake effect snow too. Develop as early as 12's negative 15Z. A single, dominant,
12 to 15, by
NS-oriented
the way.
lake. Effect snow band is expected to develop across Lake Michigan due to the elongated northerly fetch extending all the way up to Lake Superior. The lake effect snow band should initially start off over far NW, Indiana, near Gary and Chesterton in before, pivoting up into Michigan City in and even up to St. Joseph, MI. As low-level converging winds take on a more north-northwest component. During the day Sunday, lake effect snow is expected to persist across the typical lake effect snow belts in NW, Indiana, and far SW lower Michigan. With daytime highs in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees, accumulations will likely be limited, depending on how far inland the lake effect snow band gets. Snow as possible as far east as in 15 and as far south as the US 24 corridor. NT rule out 1-2 inches of snow on grassy elevated surfaces, but impacts during the day should be limited. Visibilities will likely be low within the band, and if any heavier snow rates do materialize, there could be some minor accumulations on roads, especially within the snow belts. Lake effect snow continues late Sunday, overnight into Monday morning, and the environment will become incredibly favorable. Surface low temperatures Sunday night will be in the 20s, which will limit melting. Models vary widely on the positioning of the lake effect snow band Sunday night and into early Monday due to the development of a mesolow. How long the band stays over one area is highly uncertain. A mesolow will likely form over Lake Michigan and drop due south over the lake, which will pull the axis of the lake effect snow to the west over the Chicago metro, and potentially even as far west as Waukegan, IL around 06-09Z Monday. For locations between Michigan City to St. Joseph, MI, there will likely be a lull in snow from this time frame until about 12-15Z Monday, when the lake effect snow band pivots back over our forecast area, increasing inversion heights to around 15,000 feet and impressively steep low-level laps. Rates of 8.59 kilometers will create a phenomenal thermodynamic setup, and with a Lake Superior to Lake Michigan connection, the band will be capable of producing snowfall rates of up to 2-3 hour, with thundersnow possible, especially over NW, Indiana, depending on when and where the lake effect snow band sets up. There may be impacts too. The Monday morning and evening commutes, especially along the I-94 and I-80/I-90 corridors. Be prepared for slick, snow-covered roads. Negative theta E lapse rates may allow for the band to extend further inland during the day Monday, likely similar to Sunday, and that the eastern extent will be in 15, and the southern extent will be US 24. If this happens, travel impacts may also occur on parts of US 30 in north central and NW, Indiana. Few changes have been made to headlines and forecast snow amounts due to the lingering uncertainty. Cass County, MI has been added to the Winter Storm Watch, which will be in effect from 1 p.m. EST Sunday to 7 p.m. EST Monday, if the lake effect snow band stays over our area for longer Sunday night into Monday morning. Snowfall amounts could be highly variable at a county level due to the unpredictability of mesovortices within the band. Current forecast snow amounts between Sunday afternoon through Monday evening are 6-12 inches in Loup, Port, Berrien, and St. Joseph in counties, although I would not be surprised if locally higher amounts of 1.5 to 2 feet are realized somewhere near southern Lake Michigan. Some blowing and drifting may occur in areas that see the highest snow amounts. Breezy northwest winds and strong CAA will keep temperatures around 20 degrees below normal for this time of year on Monday. High temperatures will be in the low to mid-30s,
Oh my God, she's gotta
with
be
some
almost done.
locations struggling to get above freezing. When factoring in the winds, wind chills will only be in the teens and 20s all day Monday. Winds shift to the west by Monday evening, cutting off any remaining lake effect snow. Through the rest of the week, temperatures gradually warm and return to near normal by Friday.
All right,
and
she
Saturday.
can just shut up
A
now. Okay, so basically it's just reiterating what we were saying. Expecting the heaviest snow, maybe up to 2 inches per hour, which is incredible. Overnight Sunday. So it sounds like this is mainly, I mean, we're gonna, we'll start off as rain and some mix and some trash, right? Tomorrow morning through the afternoon. Maybe in the afternoon and early evening, we'll probably start transitioning over to some snow. But a lot of that's not going to, accumulate on the road. It's not going to be a big deal. It's going to become a big deal because the environment's going to be extremely in favor of instability, and we're going to have those winds coming right down the lake, so it's going to pull all that moisture and instability from the lake, create convection, and we might end up with some thunderstorms, some thunderstorms instead of rain, it's snow, and obviously that will be intense and will raise those snowfall rates. That'll occur Sunday evening or Sunday night, all the way through the Monday morning commute, possibly a little longer. And then there might be a little bit of a break on Monday, and it may return kind of just as some light, lingering lake effect showers on and off Monday afternoon, evening. It's also difficult, just summarizing it here, it's difficult to really determine exactly where the heaviest snow totals will be because there's so many, we're basically tracking how in the summer we track, 1 or 2 storms at a time. We issue a forecast, say, hey, sometime, somewhere in this circle, there's going to be, a couple of tornadoes or big hail or something. Well, we're basically doing that on a way, 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 way smaller scale, to the point where it's almost impossible to say, hey, we're trying to forecast a 5-mile wide snow shower basically, and where that's going to set up and just sit. It's almost impossible to do until the day of. It is what it is, but it looks like the heaviest snow is probably going to be from like Portage, Indiana, up there toward Michigan City, down to Valparaiso, and of course LaPorte, kind of in that area. But really, anybody along the typical, if you're from the area, you're familiar with it. Anybody around the the typical lake effect region, needs to be watching this, I guess. So anyway, folks, if you are joining us, I am considering some deployment for Project Weather Eye tomorrow. I'm considering putting some streaming devices out. But if this is going to be an overnight event, I don't know if it makes any sense to. So we'll evaluate that in the morning. But if you're interested in helping the next phase of Project Weather Eye with our weather balloon radiosonde project, which is costing us tens of thousands of dollars, and also our ground-based mesonet so that we can make public data open source here. We can make it available for researchers and forecasters and such, and of course live stream that data to you, so it's at no cost to you. And you can also get, you'll also be able to get that that entertainment value of being able to watch all this as it's happening, which is pretty cool. We are seeking $25,000. I know that's a lot, but listen, our entire operating budget for the year might be between $75,000 and $100,000. So we're not even asking for the whole operating budget. We're just asking for that little bit of help here, getting to that goal so that we don't have to skimp on things, because otherwise what's going to happen is the stuff's going to get pushed off, and it's going to be really tough for us to get this stuff rolling here come 2026. So we're going to be continuing our live streaming camera network, obviously. We're going to be adding in 50 mesonet sensors. We've already budgeted for 25. We're looking to add 20 to 25 more. That's baked into this cost. That's going to bring us up to 50 mesonet sensors, and then of course over 100 weather balloon launches between the months of April, May, and June. So this is going to be really, really cool. We are not supported by grants. We're not supported by a university. We're not supported by the government. We're not supported by your tax dollars. None of that. None of that. We need more weather data. It's very important. It's a public safety thing too, and of course it's also entertaining to watch. So 2 birds, 1 stone there. So it's going to be really cool. We've got a good group of people working with us, and I'm excited for it. But that's what the goal is for at the bottom. That's what our fundraiser is for. If you are interested in that, you can visit the website there at the top of the chat. I'll do a full sales pitch tomorrow. I've been repeating myself over and over for the past 2 weeks, and that's about all I got in me for the energy. But we are at almost 20%. When we get to 20%, that's going to be cool, right? Because that's like a big chunk. But we've only been running this fundraiser for 16 days now. We're 16 days in, and I think we're at, 18%? That's pretty impressive. So a big thank you to everybody who's contributed. If contributing to these types of things is not really your thing, that's fine. You're welcome to still, just watch. But if you still want to help, like if you want to find a way to help us out, but you just don't want to contribute to something like this, which is perfectly fine, you can share the GoFundMe That's an easy way to do it. Share our live stream. That way, because more, maybe your friends and family that might see it may be interested in helping as well. So, I know it's a big goal, and I've had some people kind of make fun of it, but listen, I've got 86,000 people on Facebook. I've got 150,000 people on YouTube. I've got 80,000 people on Twitter. 80 and 1/5, so that's like 300 and something thousand people that, let's just say everybody said, you know what, screw it, here's $1. That would be $350 or something $1,000 we would have. Can you imagine the incredible stuff we could do with that? Now, I'm not trying to guilt trip anybody. Like, don't take it as that. But I'm just saying that's why I fully believe that this 25 grand is obtainable, because we have so many people that watch off and on. We have so many people that consume the content, so many people that see this, and we've had some really generous folks. So big thank you, because what we're doing is not, we're not doing it because we think it's going to make us a bunch of money. The only money that I'm really going to gain for this is if some other business comes along and says, hey, we want to purchase this data. Because remember, open source data for like research and forecasting purposes, like National Weather Service or like the college kids that are doing a research project, that's fine. But I'm not, another business, AccuWeather, whatever, these people can't come in and say, hey, we're just going to take all this data that you've worked hard for and you've spent all of your life savings on, and we're going to use it to develop something. That's not going to fly, right? So the only way that we make any money off of this is if another business comes along and wants to partner for the data, which I'm open to. But the other way that we make money is by the content. We're out there chasing storms. We're out there doing these balloon launches. We're educating. We're proving that this happens. We're showing you the behind the scenes, and it's entertaining, right? I mean, who doesn't want to see some people, launch a weather balloon? I mean, that's pretty cool, to 100,000 feet or whatever. Maybe I think we're gonna have to strap a GoPro to one of them and then go retrieve it, and we can get a time lapse going all the way up to 100,000 feet. I think that would be pretty cool. That's one of the side projects we could do. But this stuff's pretty cool, right? So that's how we make our money back, is by the content. The content funds the science research mission, which is, respectfully, folks, pretty sad that we've got a very, very respected operation here, and we've got a very well planned out operation, and we have to make our money from social media. That's pretty effed. Like, that's pretty screwed up that's, and this isn't a knock on the government or the colleges or anything, but, some of these colleges hand out money to send their college kids storm chasing. I had a college student, I won't dox, I don't want to say who it is, so I don't want to screw up their future here, but I had a college student reach out to me, and he put together something, gave it to his professors and like the review committee, because he wanted to be part of the project, and he's probably going to be part of the project. But he wanted to be part of the project, and he's like, hey, what if do you think I could, there was a grant available for college students. He's like, do you think that I could possibly bring some funding into the project? And he wrote up a proposal, and hell, our internal team wasn't even part of this. It was all him. Wrote up a proposal, PowerPoint presentation, everything. Went and presented it, and they said no. And, but you know what they gave the grant money to? They gave the grant money to a group of college kids who are going to use video cameras to go and videotape different types of severe weather and try to document outflow boundaries. That's ridiculous. Like, this kid put together all this work, and he's like, hey, look at this, I can work with this project and these people that are literally going to document the outflow boundaries with freaking sensors, not some stupid iPhone camera, launch weather balloons, ingest the data, possibly come to a better conclusion on why supercells produce tornadoes and other storms don't, things like that, something useful. And they told this college kid to pound sand, and it made him feel like crap too, so I actually feel bad for him, but we're probably going to have him as part of the project this year. But that's, and I'm not trying to be spiteful or anything, but that's what we're up against. Like, it's tough for me to go get a grant or a research grant or a big check, because people don't want to invest in this. People want to invest in people just driving around with cameras and acting like fools. So we've got a bunch of people that, we're not only storm chasing, but we're trying to research a little bit here, because contrary to popular belief, folks, I do understand the weather just a little bit. And there's some things that I think I might be able to draw some conclusions to here as well with some of the data that we can capture. You know, we don't have people out here doing these massive Mesonet projects. Like, yeah, you've got NSSL out here doing a fantastic job, but you know, they're very limited. You know, they have to answer to the government, and they're very limited on what they can do. We're just some YouTubers. Hey, you want to go deploy a 50 unit Mesonet to track storm, you know, to capture storms moving through the Texas Panhandle because there's, you know, moderate risk for severe weather for the next 3 days? Sure, go do it. I don't need to phone home. I don't need to call the government and ask for approval. We just do it. You know, we can capture very high resolution data here, which is what we're missing. You know, a lot of folks, a lot of projects out there, you know, they deploy Mesonet sensors, and maybe they deploy, I don't know, 10 of them. But we're going to put 50 of them out there, and we're, instead of picking them up after the storm goes through, we can leave them out there. They got 7-day battery life. We can capture multiple storms moving through these networks. We're going to capture the entire upper air sounding, the same thing the National Weather Service does at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., but we can do it in the middle of the day when it matters most to us. So, and that's not that the National Weather Service isn't doing their job. I don't want to imply that. It's just that the National Weather Service can't launch a weather balloon in front of a severe thunderstorm or on a severe weather day whenever they want. You know, they have a budget, and they have, you know, rules, regulations, whatever. We can. We say, hey, we need sounding data because we think that there might be a strong cap, or the opposite. You know, we think today might go thermonuclear. We might have a tornado outbreak. We need a sounding. Well, we can go to the area where we want the observed upper air sounding, and we launch a sounding, and now we provide the answers to literally everybody that wants the answers. So this is the stuff we're trying to do. It's a big thing for us to do. But listen, you know, one thing I want to make clear, because I'm facing a lot of backlash, but listen, this isn't me being upset because I don't care, but the only backlash that I'm getting from this is from the storm chasing community. It's not even the weather community, it's the storm chasers, so I don't even care. But we have meteorologists, okay? We have several meteorologists on our team. So, you know, there's this big concern that, oh, they don't even have meteorologists. First of all, that doesn't matter. Second of all, we have plenty of meteorologists. Guys, I have people that are involved in this and I don't want to like say names here or anything, but I have people that are involved in this that literally have their hand in the HRRR, for shit's sakes, right? And I know it's being phased out, but like, we've got somebody that's consulting with us that's got their hand in the freaking HRRR model, for shit's sakes. Okay, so like we're doing it so that we have something to back this up. But I want to make something clear. We're not here necessarily to draw conclusions and answer the question of why does this storm produce a tornado and why does this one only produce big hail. We're not here to answer that. We're just here to capture the data and give it to somebody that can figure that out. We're here to capture and publish. If we can draw our own conclusions with the scientific method along the way, great. But our primary job is not necessarily to solve the mystery of why the hell is there a tornado here but not over here. Our job is to capture the data and make it accessible in some way, shape, or form to those that need it. And that may go into the private sector as well. Private businesses can purchase the data. They'll be able to purchase the data and use it for their private enterprises. Public enterprises like research universities, National Weather Service, they can just get the data. You guys are going to be able to look at the data, whether it's in the app or the live stream. So we're going to live stream this data pipeline into the app, into the YouTube stream. Like, it's going to be really, really cool. So like, you're going to be able to see everything that we see. Maybe we have some amateur meteorologists out there that are really into data observation. They're going to have a chance to ingest this data as well, you know. So it's going to be pretty cool, folks. You know, we're going to launch balloons, track balloons, get the data live as it's coming in, and of course the Mesonet sensors and the camera network. So we're going to be busy. You know, we've got myself, Aiden, Zach, David's floating around out here. We got Tyler. There's a lot of people that are already out here, in addition to our back-end support staff as well, that's going to be in the pool of people that's going to help us out. So, you know, we've got big things coming, folks. This is going to be really cool, and I think we're the ones that can pull it off. I think there's possibly some other YouTube channels that could pull it off, but I think I just think that a lot of people don't. I have a very vested interest here in the science behind what we do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and masquerade as a researcher and say that, you know, oh, we do this 100% for the science. Because you know what, guys? The realism is, I do this because I like to drive around and I like to look at pretty clouds. I don't give a shit if there's a tornado or not. I want to look at cool clouds, right? And that's why I'm out here. But I also want to understand this a little bit better, and I think data collection is really cool. I think being able to provide an answer that people don't have is really cool. Being able to provide a service that nobody else has ever been able to provide, I think that's really cool. So for me and our group being able to do this, it goes hand in hand with the storm chasing, right? We're already out here. We might as well do something with ourselves. I'm going to be honest with you guys. People are getting bored of driving around and boring and storm chasing and watching people just, tell stupid your mom jokes all the time. People are sick of it. I've had so many people that have emailed me, commented like, thank you for you're rejuvenating live streaming. And I kind of agree with that, because this is a different genre of, we're still live streaming. I'm still going to be doing the live stream, but we're going to be going a little bit different direction. All those times when we're sitting in a parking lot and we're bored and we're sitting there like without anything to do? Well, now we're going to be looking at the upper atmosphere. We're going to be looking at ground truth data. We got so much more that we're going to be doing. We're still live streaming. Nothing's changing on that. Nothing's changing. We're still storm chasing. But there's so much more that we can show you guys and you guys can be involved in, so it's not just a camera facing out a window anymore and just stupid perverted comment. You know what I mean? Like, not that that's this channel, but I think we can really do something with this, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's my sales pitch. If you want to be involved with that, the link is at the top of the chat. Also, while I'm on that, Radar Omega has been updated majorly. Incredible user interface update, incredible quality of life update, reiterating the fact that it is the only radar app that, well, I take that back. Radar Scope is still fine. But like the only radar app that I would recommend. Obviously, we still have the Cycrad app, which is for free, made by the makers of Radar Omega. If you're just not into buying a radar app, but if you haven't used Radar Omega lately, you may want to go open it up and take a look. There's new weather alerts. There's a new weather alert interface. So when you open a weather alert, you get a summary of the conditions, so you don't have to read the entire alert to know what's going on. There's additional warnings from Canada on there. There's additional marine and aviation type warnings, which is pretty cool. And the Storm Track tool is way better than it used to be. So a big update on that as well. You guys may be interested in checking that out while I'm on the the advertising thing here. Anyway, I will start paying attention to the chat again here. Sorry about that. But anyway, that was our extended advertisement there by me and only me. I'm not paid to say that, any of that. But yeah. We're here. So we've got our, Pick. Yeah, I remember Pickle. I think I still have a phone with Pickle on it. It's too bad they shut that down. That was a cool app. Especially at the time, because at the time there was no way to get radar and maps on your phone. Because Radar Scope existed, but Radar Scope had all they showed were the interstates, which was just stupid. No offense to DTN, though, the owners of Radar Scope, but guys, what were you people thinking? You put only the interstates in the app? For Pete's sakes, what? And it was that way for years, it was unusable. Come on. But then Pickle came out, and they're like, yeah, here's a bunch of maps. And that was the first and only way on your Android phone that you could get radar with more roads than just the interstate. And it was a godsend when it came out. Yeah, I remember Pickle. But anyway, yeah, so we're interested here in this severe or lake effect snow event tomorrow. After this, I'm not expecting severe weather. I think it's going to be this event, and then severe weather is going to be quiet until next Friday at least. So we'll see. But I am looking forward to tomorrow. I got to stop at the Walmart up here in Lafayette. I'll probably take you guys along for that. And get a shovel. Nice thing about having the pickup truck now is we can carry a full-size shovel, which is good. I'd rather have a full-size shovel than one of those little rinky-dink shovels. So. But yeah, Facebook, if you're not interested in watching the live stream tomorrow, Facebook's going to be where it's at because I'll be posting video updates and stuff. On Facebook, if you don't want to deal with the stream. Love to get over in the middle lane, but every time I try to like speed up to move over, this dude in my blind spot matches my speed. What doing, dude? Dude, what are you doing? I'm not kidding. For the past like 5 minutes, I've been trying to get over in the middle freaking lane, but it's just, now he's finally going. Like, I can't because he's been sitting in the damn blind spot, so I speed up so I can get in front of him. What are you doing, dude? There we go. Jesus, criminy, dude. I remember my first time driving. Thank you. I've been trying to get back over in this lane forever. God dang. It's always a Toyota minivan, too, every damn time. And you got this goober over here without his headlights on. It's way darker out than it looks, too, people. It's just the camera brightens it up a lot. If I can, yeah, I got like an hour and a half left. But it's been a nice drive so far. Like, it's been pretty quiet, not a whole lot of people on the road. But I tell you what, this snow event kind of came out of left field. Wasn't expecting this. It started becoming apparent a couple of days ago, but I was very skeptical of it. I'm like, I don't know about that. I tell you what, man, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty impressive. So, and I'm usually pretty, I usually am on the more conservative side when it comes to snow totals, because there's so many times where like people are like, oh, 10 inches of snow and you get like 9. But it always seems like less because it gets plowed. Like, people always, like, you can get a foot of snow and people will be like, that's 7 inches or that's 6 inches or whatever. Like, people, yeah, you might get that much snow, but especially with like modern cars and all-wheel drive and snow plowing, like, it's not that big of a deal anymore. So like, people's like psychological response to snow, it's almost like they underestimate it or whatever. But so that's why I usually like edge on the lesser amounts or the conservative amounts of snow forecasting. But I really think, I think the National Weather Service hit the nail on the head here with this like 9 to 18 inches. I mean, there very well could be over a foot of snow wherever the snow band sets up. And it's going to be pretty damn cool to be there, I think. I'm looking forward to it. Might not be looking forward to any sort of associated cold weather, but I heart Germany. Okay, cool. That guy hearts Germany. All right. All right, so yeah, I'll take you guys into the Walmart. But we got a little ways till the Walmart yet. I really wanted to be up here much earlier. Oh, this damn thing. I wanted to be up here much earlier, but I kind of misjudged the drive. I thought it was like a 5-hour drive, but it's like closer to 7. So, look, another frickin' goober with no headlights on. You guys should be able to see the temperature dropping up there in the little window up top. There's way too much coating to get that to work. That was ridiculous for what it was. I gotta get a Walmart punched in here, so we're gonna come up on it before too long here. There's one not far off the interstate, if I remember. Yeah, right there. Dude, what are you doing? This guy right beside me here. No, you can't merge into my lane, dude. I'm in the lane. What are you doing? All right, we got 20 minutes to the Walmart. Cool. Go. Oh, come on, dude. Let him over so we can get past him, you doorknob. That frickin' rape van. Thanks a lot, dude. Well, that one did have windows, so, but whatever. Like, let the truck over, like, so we can go, because we're doing 49 and a 70, for Christ's sakes. There we go. Selfish prick. There we go. Some rain actually might be coming into the area here pretty soon. But it'll be interesting depending on how much for foliage is left on the trees up there. You know, if that causes any tree branches come down, you know, maybe power outages and stuff. So you get heavy wet snow, because I think it's going to be a heavy wet snow. You get some heavy wet snow coming down on these tree branches. They still got leaves on them, and it collects a bunch more snow and start getting branches down on power lines and stuff. Yeah, I missed snow. I mean, it's been a long time since. I was actually just thinking about that the other week. I was like, man, we could go for a snowstorm. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, I like all types of weather, but it's not necessarily that I get bored. Oh, this road is killing me right now. It's not necessarily that I get bored, it's just kind of like, I want some variety, you know? Oh yeah, so the Waffle House last night. Some people were making fun of me because I order steaks well done. Guys, I don't, and I know it's harmless making fun of, you know, but, I just don't do like, fully cooked meat. You know, I'm not some, like, vegetarian person by any means. I just don't, I'll be honest with you guys, like, maybe 10, 12 years ago, somebody made a steak. It was a restaurant, and it was like damn near raw, and I cut it, and like it felt like I was cutting into somebody's arm. And I know this is kind of a weird connection, but like this happened right around the time when we were really, really busy at work, and it just reminded me of, we had somebody who had a broken femur, and we had a traction splint on him, and the traction splint broke, and I had my hand on her, like, upper thigh by where the brake was, and the traction splint just broke. That little, like, ratcheting thing broke. I just unwound, and, like, the way that, like, the two bones, like, splintered back into each other, like, you could feel that through, like, her thigh, and that's what it felt like when I would cut into the steak. It reminded me immediately of, like, feeling somebody's bone just get, like, destructively, like, stuck back to, not a good feeling. Like, it just felt nasty. And ever since, I've not been able to eat, like, cooked or, like, undercooked meat. And I understand, like, a medium rare steak is not undercooked. I get it. But there is, like, it makes me want to puke. Like, if there is something that's not, like, well done in front of me, I will absolutely throw up. For some reason my brain connects that to, I don't even know what you want to call it, but it feels like when you cut it with the knife, I feel like I'm cutting, like, a living person's flesh. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And anybody who eats that way, that's perfectly fine. But I came from the medical field where we dealt with, like, broken bodies and, like, body parts that were not the way they should have been. And for some reason, well, no, I shouldn't say it's weird, because it's not, because a piece of meat is basically a body part, you know? So, like, I kind of draw the connection to, like, things that were really, really gross, and it doesn't work for me. So I'm not shaming anybody who was making fun of me. I'm just giving the answer, because there were actually a couple of really shitty people on Facebook that I had to block that called me a libtard for not ordering a rare steak, which I have no idea how that has anything to do with it. And if you guys watch the stream, you sure as hell know that ain't true. But it's kind of like, you know, okay, asshole, like, there's a reason behind it. But that's why I will not, and I cannot do something that's not, like, well done. And when I mean well done, like, I need it burnt. Hamburgers are a different story, but if it's a steak, something I have to cut with a knife, it has to be well done, and, like, burnt, or I can't eat it. Which normally isn't a problem. Like, if you're somewhere eating, or, like, if somebody's making the food for you, you can just be like, hey, burn it. And, like, that's what I tell people. You know, like, when I'm ordering at Waffle House, like, I get the crappy little sirloin steak, because it's actually pretty good, especially if you dump salt all over it. I just like it, whatever. Make fun of me all you want, I really don't give a shit. You know, I can eat. I'm not a 2-year-old, I can eat what I want to eat. That's one thing I've noticed, is people like to make fun of other people for what they eat for some reason, which is really dumb, but I get it all the time, and, like, I can't stand these people like, oh, you're a picky eater. It's like, no, I'm not. I just want to eat what I'm hungry for, right? I'm an adult. It's America, so it ain't freaking North Korea. But it's like, I'll tell the guy, it's always a guy or whatever at Waffle House, you know, they got the one guy at the grill, and I always tell, because, like, they're always walking around and stuff, and, like, when I see them grab my steak, I always tell him, because the wait staff, like, the order taker almost never properly communicates it. They'll just, like, anytime I don't say something to the guy running the grill, I have to have him cook it more. Every time. It's like, I always catch the guy running the grill, I'm just like, hey, burn that. I'm like, seriously, like, burn it. And I'm always happy with it. Like, it's obviously not rock hard, but, like, the outside should be black. Otherwise, I have this, like, psychological response where I can't eat anymore. So when I get carry out from Waffle House, I have learned to cope with this issue by not inspecting the steak until I've eaten everything else, because if I inspect the steak and I cut it and it gives me that psychological response of like body parts, I will not be able to eat the rest of the food I just paid for. So I put that into effect last night, thank God. I didn't even look at the steak until I was done with my hash brown bowl. And it's a good thing, because I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this looks okay. And I cut into it with the plastic knife. Thank God it wasn't a metal knife, the plastic knife, so I didn't feel it cutting the nasty flesh fibers. I think a good veterinarian probably could have revived this cow. I think they seared it on both sides for about 6 seconds and threw it in the plate, because I touched it and it was cold. I'm pretty sure if we have any like veterinarians out there, I think you probably could have made this cow moo again. I think it was mooing, and shit, it might have been producing milk still. I don't know, but so that's how the Waffle House went. But it's very rare that you get a bad steak at Waffle House, because they're not even really steaks. They're just like crappy sirloins, right? But usually they're pretty good. And this was like, I would say out of every 10 Waffle House steaks that I order, I would say 9 of them are exactly what I want. There's always that one, but I think a 10% failure rate is pretty decent. But it's a problem. It's not so much of a problem when you're there, because you're just like, hey, can you redo this, if you can even stomach it. But like when it's carry out, you're kind of screwed. So I was a little bummed out. I'm like, well, this sucks, but whatever. But oh yeah, I get made fun of that all the damn time. It was like, oh, you eat like a child. And it's like, I really don't care if I do or don't. I mean, this is a free country. Like, you know, it's like, go to the Mexican places. Like, a lot of people that I work with like Mexican food, and I have no problem going to Mexico. Like, we're on hurricane deployments. Don always likes to go to a Mexican place. We're on severe weather events. Daniel likes Mexican. You know, the couple other people I interact with, everybody wants to go to a Mexican place. I am fine with that, but I always order one thing. I order this carne asada, or whatever the hell it is. It's basically like a piece of like burnt sirloin steak with some rice. And that's what I order at every Mexican place. It's like what the white American guy gets at Mexican if they don't do Mexican food. I don't do Mexican food, but I do Mexican restaurants, because every Mexican restaurant has that. And it's always really good. But I said something about that's what I ordered on a live stream, and people were like, you eat like a fucking kid. It's like, oh my God, you want me to show up at your house and bitch about what you eat? Or like fajitas, like that's always pretty safe, right? Because that's just like chicken and some chips, tortillas or whatever. But I will tell you, I stepped out of the usual zone, and I went, when Daniel and I went, it was in April, in Sweetwater, Texas. There's a little Mexican place. And we went there, and I ordered the nachos, and they were very good nachos. And I told the little Mexican dude, I asked him, like, a lot of the menu was in Spanish, and I was like, hey man, I'm like, I don't understand any of this. Like, I said, I am a white American that does not venture out of my comfort zone. What should I order? And I don't think he spoke very good English, but he spoke enough to understand that I don't frequent the Mexican restaurant very much. And he pointed out the carne asada, whatever the hell it is. He pointed that out, and I said, you got anything else? Because that's what I always get. And he's like, nachos. And I'm just like, yeah, freaking hell yeah, I can do nachos. But I told him, I said, nothing spicy, nothing weird. And he's like, okay, no jalapeno, no sour cream, do you do tomato? And I'm just like, yeah, I do tomatoes. He's like, do you do cheese? And I'm like, yeah, I do cheese. And he's like, do you do rice? And I'm like, I can do rice. He's like, okay, do you do peppers? I'm like, yeah, I can do peppers. I was like, okay, we make for you special. And they brought it out, and it was actually pretty damn good. But I left him a good tip, because he knew exactly what I was talking about when I'm just like, I don't do anything weird, I don't do anything spicy. He's like, okay, so you don't do sour cream, you don't do jalapenos. I'm like, all right, this guy gets it. Like, we're in good hands here. So that worked out pretty good. Like, I always feel bad for these like authentic Mexican people, like at Mexican, like The actual Mexicans at the Mexican restaurant. Because us, like, boring white people walk in and we're just like, can we have the vagina? And, like, these people just got to be, like, rolling their eyes at the way we talk to them and stuff. Like, oh my god. Here we go with more racist comments from Vince. Oh, fuck you. Buddy, I don't know what is racist about saying something about the Mexican dude at the Mexican restaurant. Jesus Christ, that's not racism. Like, dude, they're Mexicans. It's a Mexican restaurant. What do you want me to say? The person from the country south of America? Oh, you know, but hold on. I know what this dude's going to come back with. Their race doesn't matter. No, their race does matter, because I'm trying to describe to you that it's a Mexican. Literally an expert on Mexican food, because they're a Mexican, right? They know Mexican food. And part of it is that they didn't speak English very well, because they're authentic Mexicans, right? Like, they spoke enough to run their business and to interact with society. That's fine. That's all we need, right? But the fact, and that was part of what made the story cute, is the fact that, like, this dude that doesn't necessarily speak very good English and is like an actual, like, Mexican dude sees, like, the white American guy with the white Australian guy come in, and here the white American guy is like, I don't want anything weird. You know, it was by no means offensive. And for you to say that that's racism is absolutely racism. Because racism is when somebody makes a comment such as, I hate black people. That would be a racist comment. By describing somebody by their ethnicity or their race, where they came from, is not racism. And for you to come in here and say that it is absolutely 100% racism. And I know almost everything I need to know about you by that comment. And you are nothing but a leech on society for having that mentality. That mentality is dead. It's nasty. It's reverse racism. That mentality does nothing constructive for the world. So go away. Thank you, Andy, because I'm sure that's probably your burner account. If it's not, I'd be surprised. But anyway, Jesus Christ, who lets these people, these kids in here? But anyway, no, like, I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, I make a comment saying, like, you're usually in good hands if you're at, like, if your Mexican restaurant has, like, legit Mexican people in it, you're usually in good hands if you tell them that you don't do anything. Like, if you're like me and you don't do anything weird, if you tell them you don't do anything weird, like, they get it, because they deal with us stupid, boring Americans all the time that don't want anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that's racist or not. Because, like, sometimes you go into a Mexican restaurant, right? And it's just, like, somebody like me that doesn't even speak Spanish. And it's like, oh, God, this ain't good. Like, if I go to an Italian restaurant, you know, if I go to Olive Garden and you've got some, like, Italian mob guy working, well, hell, I know the spaghetti's going to be damn good, right? Like, shit, they're an expert on it, you know? Or if I go to an Italian pizza place or something in Chicago, it's like, well, shit, it's going to be good pizza or something, you know? Like, for Pete's sakes, folks, like, God bless America. Just, I'm not doing the racism crap, guys. Like, I know somebody's going to twist what I just said into racism. I'm not doing that, okay? That's going to stop. I don't have any time for that, and society doesn't have any time for that. Like, everybody is so sick of that. That's so 2020. Everybody's tired of it. You know, if you want to speak out against actual racists, like, frickin', I don't know, somebody that's actually, go for it. But to sit there and try to cancel somebody because they told a story about the Mexican restaurant and gave the Mexican restaurant a huge compliment, mind you, and say that that's somehow racism, you got to go somewhere else, guys. I'm not doing that. Unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever. I don't care. Just, I don't want it here. The audience doesn't want it here. It's just a shitty mentality. Just leave it somewhere else, okay? We're all exhausted of that, right? Jesus.
In 2 miles, take exit 172 toward Lafayette.
I hate when they go to French fries and order, or go to a Mexican restaurant and order French fries. Yeah, there's a lot of Mexican restaurants up in Wisconsin that have chicken nuggets because people, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what an enchilada is, but that sounds terrible. Did I just order a vagina? What are you talking about? But what the hell? Yeah, and enchilada. Yeah, I don't know what that is. An enchilada. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's like something you would get at a Mexican restaurant, and I don't know. It sounds confusing. That sounds really confusing to me. Enchilada. Enchilada. Enchilada or enchilada. I don't know, guys. I don't speak Mexican food. Some kind of meat with a red sauce. Oh no, nope, no red sauce. Sauce should not be red. Guys, I don't even do ketchup. Like if I order a cheeseburger, it's bun, hamburger, cheese and pickles in a bun, and maybe some bacon on there, right? Like, I'm not that weird when it comes to my food. I just like normal. I don't know.
Take exit 172, then use the left lane to take the ramp to Lafayette.
Yeah, I don't do green sauce either. No. Freaking guacamole or whatever. Screw that.
Use the left lane to take the ramp to Lafayette.
Like, I hate when I go into a place, you know, and I gotta order something. Like, I'll order, like, nachos are a common thing, like Applebee's and stuff. You order nachos, they're like, you want guacamole? No. I'm like, and leave off the sour cream, leave off this, leave off that, no jalapenos. Like, sometimes the wait staff will be like, what do you actually want on it? I'm like, chips, cheese, and that's about it. Like, pretty simple. Yeah, I actually don't do like any other foods either. Like I don't go to Olive Garden. Like the spaghetti at Olive Garden is even getting a little bit exotic for me. Like it's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. I just like Applebee's. Applebee's, the food actually sucks now, but prior to COVID they were good. Applebee's, Chili's is pretty good, but I'm pretty specific at Chili's. You know, I told you about Olive Garden. The bread's pretty good. Waffle House is always safe. Denny's and IHOP, they're safe too. There's really no other go-tos that I have, honestly. I really don't like go to restaurants. Like I have to like DoorDash everything. I have a file. I'm pretty sure I have like a file at DoorDash, like because I'm not like I use DoorDash so much, because I'm always in hotels.
800 feet, continue straight onto South
I use
Street.
DoorDash so much that I get a lot of wrong orders and stuff is messed up, which is honestly, guys, is actually what you'd expect, because when you're DoorDashing for your food every day, you're bound to get something screwed up, whether the DoorDash driver effed it up or the restaurant. Like you're bound to have screw ups. Like you use a service that much where it's, you know, reliant on humans. It's like it's gonna get screwed up, and that's fine. Like I fully expect that. Like I'm not even complaining, but
In 1,000
I'm pretty sure I have a file, because every time something's wrong, I open like a complaint about it so that I get the damn money back. But they're starting, like they used to just automatically refund me, but now they're making me actually talk to customer service to like verify. I think they've got me flagged as like a scammer or something, but
next left onto Marketplace Drive.
because like, you know, I had a chicken strip basket from Dairy Queen, right? Ordered the chicken strip basket, and I ordered it with that white gravy stuff to put the, you know, you dip your fries and your chicken strips in them, right? And it showed up, and the damn white gravy was spilled all over because the DoorDasher had the damn box upside down in the back. It was a bloody nightmare. It was a mess. Oh, hey, there's a Star ambulance that went by. That's the other Star ambulance. That's the one in Indianapolis that's actually provides patient care. That's not the Star ambulance from Freeport, Illinois that still owes me a paycheck, by the way. They still owe me a $563 paycheck, but that's beside the point. You hear that, Gretchen? Better double check your payroll. But anyway, I'll never see it. Maybe they can send it in form of super chat, but
Continue straight, then turn
it was just a mess. And I'm like, screw this. So I took a picture of it and I messaged DoorDash. I was like, hey, this kind of sucks. Like, I can still eat it, I guess, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, you know. And they were like, okay, you know, here's a refund. And I'm like, oh, score. I figured they were going to give me like $1 off or something my next order. Because usually they just give you like the value of whatever is messed up. But she approved. She just like refunded the whole thing. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, score, free meal. So I'm telling you guys, if your DoorDash is screwed up, there's no shame in telling them it's screwed up. You know, they're a bajillion-dollar company. Like, they can afford it. Like, if it's wrong, let them make it right. You know, the customer service is pretty decent, so. Copper wire is free if it's not under lock and key. What? Why? Like, what brought that up? All right, let's go in here and see what we can do. Let me get the chat on my screen here. Headphone users, just hold on. Okay. Oh my God, it's freezing out. Oh my God, what is this? Oh my God, it was warm when I left Kentucky. It was like 70 degrees. I'd say we definitely crossed the cold front. Guys, I don't know how long the signal is going to hold out. It might be pretty choppy in here, so bear with me a little bit. Hold on, I'm looking for something here. I'm trying to get chat to work. Alright, I can't get chat to load. I don't know why. Hey guys, I don't have chat up. I don't know why it's not working, so I'm gonna try to pull it up on the other phone. We were on the wrong camera lens. I'm sorry, guys. I was wondering why that was all like bouncy and something didn't look right. Fixed it. I feel like a shovel would be back here. come on, man. They got the grill stuff, but no shovel? Oh, hey, I found, wow. I found that other radar app that starts with W. They sell it at Walmart. That's cool. Let me have fun, okay? Yeah, I could ask an employee. You're right. But I'm an introvert, so we're just going to look it up. Y20. Where the hell is Y20? Garden. That's where I'm at. Trees down. Trees down. There you go. Poor tree. Hello? You gotta be kidding me. All right, I found the shovels in the dark. So they just forgot to pay the light bill at Walmart here, I guess. It's kind of creepy. You gotta be kidding me, right? Like, they're not even motion coming on. Hello? All right, cheap shovel. What do you guys think? The flat one or a little bit nice? Which one is? I feel like this one would do better scooping. Might be tough to fit in the bed though. What do we got over here? The Snow Joe. $31? No, that's not happening. How much is this one? God, I don't want to spend 15 bucks on a shovel. Maybe just get the little dude? That's just too small. I think I'll get this one. Because it don't really want it to be as lightweight as possible. Cool. Just have to pay the light bill, I guess. Jesus. This better open. Oh God, thank God I'm not gonna open. Just testing it out. Snow broom or a snow brush too. Oh my god. I have so many of these at home, but I don't have any with me. God bless America. Freaking expensive. Why?
So like anybody today?
$1 more, you get a better one. Guess it's okay. So many of these at home. No, you're fine. Got plenty of these at home. I'm not spending $25 on one. That's ridiculous. 16, no. So I want to be able to reach the whole thing. I think that's the one right there. That's the girl. We'll use it. Just can't believe it. I'm gonna spend $30 on a shovel and a freaking broom. Seeing the price of stuff these days? Good lord. I thought this was gonna be a $10, $15 run max. Are we taking guesses on the total here? I don't have the chat up. So for some reason it's not loading. Usually it shows it on the screen, but it's not. What the hell is this? Wow, okay.
I had breakfast.
All right, you too. Get in there. So I don't know where I parked. It's somewhere over here. It's way up there. Truck's taller than everybody else's car usually, but that's not my truck, is it? No, it is. Or way up there. God, it's freezing cold out here, guys. Holy smokes. The hell with this. The hell with this. God. God, I hate winter. I'm sick of it already. Just sick of it. You guys are upset because I gave it a 1-star feedback? Yeah, because the freaking lights weren't even on. Are you kidding me? Like, they literally didn't have any of the lights turned on in the one section of the store I needed to go into. And I had to use a flashlight to find the shovel I wanted to buy. Are you kidding me? That's 1 star? Like, what did you expect me to give it? They literally didn't have any of the lights on in the only section of the store that I came to shop in. Of course I'm giving it 1 star. They didn't even have the freaking lights on. Oh my God. Of course they're getting 1 star. I'm not giving them 5. Why is anyone watching this guy? I was just surfing the internet and stumbled across this and watched it for 60 seconds. That's 60 seconds of my life I'll never get back. Hey, Ken, guess what? No one gives a shit. So, see you later, loser. Anyway. Your wife called. She says you've been married to her for like 10 years or whatever it was, and says that's 10 years of her life she'll never get back. So
Marketplace Drive.
Sorry, Ken, you suck. Not to be confused with the other Ken. Not moderator Ken. He's fine. It's the other Ken. Did this thing switch mics on me again? Hold on. Sorry. I know you guys with headphones, it probably really sucks when I do that, doesn't it? Okay, I was just trying to figure out which microphone I was on, but I'm on the right one. It's starting to actually sprinkle a little bit. Okay, let's GTFO. Oh, I need to put the hotel in here because I have a bad habit of forgetting to put the hotel in, and then I just put in like the town, and then I go to like the city center, and then I realize I'm not at the hotel. You are correct, Dakota. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, open in Google Maps. Exit. Okay. Am I in Eastern time right here? I know some parts, like there's a little section of area here that's Eastern. I am, so it's really 5:30. Do I have anybody in Central time? It's actually 5:30 Central, right? Now, if anybody can confirm, because I've got 8:34 on my clock right now, but I'm 99% sure I'm in Eastern time. I think it's actually 5:30. It's like this little chunk around Indianapolis is Eastern time for some reason. Like you go into Eastern time and then you go right back to Central time. It's kind of dumb. All right, it is 5:30. Good. I pretty much just run my life off of Central time, so just standardized time zone makes things a little easier.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto South Street.
Oh, I tell you what, you get real screwed up when it comes to crossing time zones all the time. Happens a lot this time of year, going back and forth Eastern, Central. Usually in the summer, or spring and summer, not so much. That's usually a Central to Mountain time zone crossing, and that one, for some reason, going back an hour doesn't really mess me up too much. Going forward an hour really confuses me for some reason.
At the stop sign, turn right onto South Street.
Wow, look at that McDonald's. It's got a freaking, like, the little loop-de-loo things, or the freaking rainbows or whatever built into the building. That's kind of cool.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
Man, what a piece of engineering. It's like the coolest looking McDonald's I've ever seen. Oh my God. Do you guys see it? Shit, I gotta pay attention to the road. You guys see it? Hold on, let's see if I can get up or enough. That's where Big Badinky Bones shanked Marcus in the leg. All right, let's get on the interstate again here. I'm sure we'll get a red light again.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop for, now you guys are talking about gas. I'm gonna have to stop for gas now too. Son of a gun, I was hoping I'd make it, but I'm gonna be just a little bit short of making it. So I am gonna have to stop again. That kind of sucks. Like I really don't want to stop again, but.
Take the I-65 north ramp.
And I think I passed the Loves. Wasn't the Loves south of Lafayette, or is it north of Lafayette? I can't remember. I should know, because this is the way that I go home a lot of times when I'm coming from the southeast, go up here through Indiana. Yeah, the Oklahoma, or the Veneta McDonald's, yeah, that is pretty cool. I've been there like once or twice, but that is kind of cool. It goes over I-44.
Continue on I-65 north for 80 miles.
I gotta get out of this lane. This is getting, we gotta move a little bit closer to the speed limit here. There we go. The Loves is the next exit. Well, look at that. Now I look like an idiot for trying to pass all these cars. I actually might be able to make it, but it'd be cutting it pretty close. And I really don't like to do that. Like, I mean, you've got, you know, the actual mechanical things. Oh, it's hard on the fuel pump and blah, blah, blah.
Use the left lane to take the ramp to Lafayette.
Like, I get that, but
Use the left lane to
it's
take the
also
ramp
like
to
what'll
Lafayette.
happen is then in the morning I'll have to get gas right away and I'll forget about it. Where's the freaking Loves? Why am I having a hard time here? Where's the Loves? Are you freaking kidding me? What did I do wrong? It said this way. Maybe I just can't see the sign from
In a
here.
quarter mile, merge onto I-65
I don't-
north.
Why am I having such a hard time here? It's got to be this way. There's no way it's the other
Head
way.
Southwest on Indiana 25 south. Skylar
Why am I
Avenue
having
to
such a hard
east
time
200
here?
North Barden Beach Road.
Like, I know this area. Oh, there we
Continue
go.
on Skylar Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
There we go. Found it. This is actually not the Loves I was thinking of. That's why. Ah, shit. I gotta turn right here. Son of a gun. Nice. Nice. Look at that. We even got a turn arrow. It's pretty nice. It's got freaking Hardee's. God dang it. I'll tell you, these truck stop Hardee's, they're just not, they're not the same.
Head southeast on East 200 north.
Yeah, this ain't the Loves I was thinking of. You know what? I think it's a Pilot. It's probably a Pilot. I think it's up the road farther, closer to Chicago. I think halfway between here and there that I usually stop at. It's not this one because this don't look familiar at all. I don't even know if I've ever been here before.
Turn left toward East
Definitely
200
not what I
north,
was thinking
then turn
of.
left onto East 200 north.
Place is busy though.
Head west, then make a U-turn. Make a U-turn. then
Okay,
turn
I'm
left.
not making a U-turn. Just chill out, lady. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
Head east, then turn right.
Negative. Like, I pulled, like, you would think by now that Google Maps would be smart enough to be like, oh, this person just pulled into a gas station. Let's shut up for a half a second, you know? Jesus.
Turn left onto East 200 north, then turn right onto Skylar Avenue.
No, I'm gonna pass, okay? Thanks.
Head east, then turn left.
There's also a lake effect event that could be coming up here for Lake Erie. I need to look at that as well. I've been so focused on this one. That's not, I wonder if that's simultaneous to this one. Let me just look at the NWS here and see what they say.
Take the next left toward East 200 north, then turn. Head east, then turn right.
This is awesome. I got something sent to me. I can't share it, but it's just like making my day right now. Is it TikTok levels of bad or your taste in memes bad? Depends. Alright, we're going to sit here for 10 minutes because we got a very slow gas pump. So this is going to be cool. Oh yeah, I was looking up the thing here. Okay, so this is for the Buffalo or the Cleveland and Erie, Pennsylvania part. They're saying 7 p.m. Sunday to 10 a.m. Oh no! So are you telling me I'm gonna miss? Frick, we're gonna have to do one or the other. It kind of makes me want to go. Frick. They don't talk about storm. This graphic is not good. They don't talk about storm timing at all. Okay. Overview. Colder air overspreads northern Ohio, northwest PA on Sunday and Sunday night, allowing for rain gradually changing to all snow Monday morning. Periods of heavy snow with rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour possible Sunday night through Tuesday. Embedded thunder is possible with strongest lake effect bands. So it sounds like this is going to run concurrent with our storm. So that's kind of annoying. So it's going to be one or the other. I think we'll still stick with ours. I think. Because I don't know why we wouldn't. You know? I wonder, I guess which one's going to have the most totals. I'm still evaluating. Sorry. I'm almost done. Let me just look at their winter page real quick. I just want to see what their like worst case scenario snow total is. Okay, so the worst case scenario. So there's only a 10% chance of this happening. So put it this way. There's a 90% chance of less snow than this. 8 inches on the west side of Cleveland, 13 inches on the east, Ashtabula 9, and 8 inches in Erie. Okay. That's not that exciting. Now let's look at ours again. I wonder if they lowered ours. They have a bad habit of that where they get you all hyped up and then they drop the totals down half and then you're like, what the frick? What are they? IWX? Okay. So they're still calling for, let's see, our worst case scenario for here. The maximum. So like the maximum worst case scenario is still 18 inches across northwest Indiana. So this appears to me to be the larger event, because even our minimums, right? Like there is a 90% chance of getting more than this amount. 5 inches in Michigan City. Yeah. So the absolute lowest possibility of snow is almost the highest possibility of snow, or the highest likelihood of snow for the Erie event. So I think we'll stick with this one. This just makes more sense, I think. Yep, we'll go with that. It's hard to determine when it's lake effect snow. No, because when the snow is formed because of the lake, that's typically how we do it. This is the kind of crap I deal with. So I posted, snowfall total maps this morning, and there's a comment that just popped up on Facebook. Could you actually try forecasting the snow amounts instead of just putting a map up? Dude, it's a snowfall map. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that is the forecast. Holy smokes, man. You ever want to ask these people if they're okay? Like, I'm starting to wonder if, like, man. All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to actually shut this down. I got like an hour left, and I'm going to be tired of talking for a little while. Plus, I'm running everything on battery right now, and stuff's going to start dying. But this was fun. So I appreciate everybody who stopped in and joined us. And went through Walmart in the dark. That was kind of cool. So there's actually a marginal risk for severe weather right now in southern Louisiana. Wait a minute. You're kidding me. Or southern Indiana. Jesus Christ. Go figure. Just looking to see if I've got any updates from like the Weather Service office up here. Not really. They're just still saying. So here's the timeline. This is for, northwest Indiana, the lake effect area we've been talking about. So Sunday afternoon, rain or snow. And then Sunday from like 4 p.m. Sunday and on, we should start having impacts. But Sunday overnight is going to be pretty much our worst. Sunday overnight into Monday morning in the morning commute, maybe even into Monday afternoon. But it should be all done by Monday night. Okay. No. Get the hell out of here. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. All right. So I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. There's a stream scheduled. You guys can go find it. If you want, it's scheduled for tomorrow for the snow. Where did I come in over here? All right, so you guys take care. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll have some updates on Facebook here in like
Take the
2.5
next right
hours.
toward East 2. Head southeast, then turn left.